A key Cambridge academic has spoken out against Britain leaving the EU as scientists polled nationwide by science journal Nature opposed the move. Business leaders also met to discuss the issue and local devolution. Adam Page reports.
Over 900 British scientists were asked by Nature magazine whether the UK would be better in or out of the European Union. 83% said they prefer to stay, 12% backed Brexit and 5% were undecided. Nobel Prize recipient Venkatraman Ramakrishnan was one of 150 Cambridge University scientists to put their name to a letter in the Times, saying they believe their work benefited from the UK being in the EU. He thinks Britain is right to opt out of the open borders and common currency, but believes that by being a member it makes it easier to compete on the world stage.
We do have the benefits such as mobility and trade, and this particularly helps with collaborative projects in science. Many of them are in fact, EU-wide collaborations. Some of them are European collaborations which are not part of the EU, such as CERN, or the European Space Agency and so on. But even those, I think are easier to do if you're part of the EU than if you have to sort of buy your way in. Britain, of course, contributes to the EU. If you look at the proportion we contribute for the science, we get back more proportionately, as far as the science budget goes, than we put in.
This poll coincided with a debate at the Cambridge Union, where Cambridge businesses and stakeholders were weighing up the pros and cons of being in the EU.
In general, people are pro-Europe in Cambridge, and businesses particularly so, but we cannot say that is the case for everybody. So I think there are mixed views. I think lots of people are wondering what the facts are, and lots of people are wondering whether it's just their emotions that are leading their views at the moment.
We do hear comments about regulation, a bit of red tape, but it's more positive than negative. That's not sector uniform, but if you're in a life sciences business, you rely on overseas employment just as much as you are if you're a grower in the fens.
I'm pro-Europe, but I want it to be on a proper democratic basis. So I'm a bit that's really why I'm attending the event tonight, to try and hear what other people say and try and form my own views.
The government's recent proposal to devolve powers to an elected mayor for East Anglia was also up for discussion, tying into the wider debate about where power should lie.
In the business community, no, not at all. I think reports are slightly exaggerated of the excitement in the area about it. So what they're interested in is whether there are houses for their employees, whether they can grow in the region and whether they can get to work on time. Beyond that, they expect the infrastructure to be there, and I suspect don't really think about it that much.
We've got too many politicians and too many layers. With the elected mayor, potentially we chop out several hundred politicians. If we get out of Europe, we chop out probably a few thousand politicians.
I don't think a mayor is the right answer. I think you need somebody who's some proper democratic infrastructure ecosystem within East Anglia is what we need, and we need to be pushing for investment, new infrastructure, not comparing us with the rest of the UK, because actually we compete with Silicon Valley, we compete with San Francisco, Shanghai. We need top-class infrastructure, and at the moment we're not getting it.
Councils in the East have until the 30th of June to respond to the government's devolution offer, just a week after people go to the polls over Europe. Adam Page, Cambridge TV News.